Hi everybody, I'm Jeff with Virginia Paranormal Investigations, and today we're down here at the Yorktown Public Library because we are working on research for our new book, The Ghosts of Yorktown. And you may be wondering, Jeff, what qualifies you to write a book? Well, I'll have you know, especially given that it's a paranormal book, I have read many novels, if you will, of the Goosebumps series, which is very paranormal in nature, and I really feel that I learned a lot from reading this, and I actually, if I read many, I started a lot of them. I finished a couple, so we're going to go in and we're going to try to write this. What I got here is this notebook, and it's purple. It's the VAPI colors, and it came from Kmart in Yorktown, and we're going to do some outlines in this. And today we're going to focus on writing a chapter about Valley Road, which is a very haunted road down there in Yorktown where people have seen strange things. It's a road that they used to bring all the imports in to the city, to the merchants, and a lot of slaves have walked this road in chains, and there's believed to be residual hauntings, possibly intelligent hauntings of these slaves. And we've even had some experiences down there ourselves, such as we've heard wagon wheels as if a cart was going down the road, and some mediums wouldn't even walk down that road because the energy there was so strong. So we're going to go in here into the local history section and see what we can find. Alright, so this is the local history section, and there's all kinds of awesome books in here that some are very rare that you won't really find anywhere else.
Yes, some very old as well.
So what'd you find over there?
A lot of information about the very beginning of the town, how it was founded, and as well as the beginning of its establishment as a port city. And the information that I ended up with was where they were starting to build wharves and what effects that the environment, the ships themselves, and the storms that they had there, and even these wood-boring worms had on the wharves. So I got to a really good point, and I can't wait to continue.
Well, what we're doing here is trying to bulk up the history a little bit, because of course we have the ghost stories from all our investigations and reports that come into us, and personal experiences, and the steep legends and lore that is associated with Yorktown. So we're trying to bulk up on the history, and like I said, we're working on Valley Road, and we're finding out a little bit about the tobacco industry and how the farming industry changed everything, and how the piers and such and the ports were established. So this section of the library is awesome because there are some old books in here, and some that are out of print, and some that you really won't find anywhere else, which are good sources that seem like they haven't been opened in a long time. And it's nice to be able to dig into that and really get into the history that is Yorktown. So it's March 15th, and tonight we're down here in Yorktown, and what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We're going to do a little bit of paranormal investigating and do some EVP sessions if we find the right location to do them. We also have an EMF detector with us, and I have a notebook. So what we kind of want to do is go around to some of the areas and maybe jot down some notes and see what some of the descriptions are that we can come up with, and just try to paint the picture of what we're seeing as we walk through Yorktown at night. And our first point of interest tonight, and I don't know if we're going to have more, what all we're going to do or have time for tonight, but it's going to be Valley Road. And you can't see it, but it's behind me here. And as I said earlier, it's a very dark, creepy road where you always hear some kind of sounds, whether natural or unnatural. It's always a very eerie walk down that road and very bad vibes. So we're going to wander over there right now, and like I said, see if we can come up with any good evidence or pictures or notes to include in this book. Alright, so we just finished standing at the mouth of the Great Valley for several minutes and taking some notes, and Linda took some pictures. Did you find anything interesting in any of the pictures so far?
There was one of the pictures I noticed that had a very large orb in it.
Right.
There were a couple of other ones that had smaller orbs. But of course, on these little, digital displays on the back of the cameras, it's really kind of hard to see exactly what you've got. So,
Right.
you have to take it and put it on a larger computer screen to be able to tell if there's
Right.
anything more interesting.
And I think what we're going to do, I'm interested in seeing what we found in those pictures, because there is definitely an eerie vibe while you're standing at the mouth of that road. It's just, like I said, I don't know if it's prior knowledge, as I said in the notes, of all that occurred there and all the reports that happened there, or I don't know if it's just that the energy that kind of embraces that place kind of reaches out to you, I think, where you're standing there. I don't know, like, it seems like there's something that's kind of like, hey, walk down this road, but at the same time there's something that says, stay out of here, because
Yes.
you're not really wanted here. And I'm by no means a medium or anything like that, but that's just the vibe I get. So I think what we're going to do is we're here at Cornwallis Cave, and that's what's behind me here in the background, and you can see it's very eerie at night. We're going to look around here a little bit, and then I think we're going to break out the recorder, maybe do some EVP sessions, and maybe head back down to the middle of Valley Road there and see if we can pick up some voices. For some reason tonight seems like a good night for it.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we also passed back there behind us. There's the Archer House. And one thing I'd like to point out about this is if you look up in the top left window, that is where several people have seen a face. For one, when we came down here with the medium, she saw it up there. She saw it on one of the pictures. I wasn't really able to see it in the picture as much, but she did. And then we have had people contact us a few years back through our Instagram and such, giving the same type of reports. So who is that face in the window? I don't know. Our research hasn't led us to come to any possible conclusions yet on that, but we're going to keep looking into it and seeing if anything happened there that may lead to this ghostly figure that appears up in that window. Right now we're going to go over to this cave and see what we can find. I just want to give you a close-up here. Those squares are from the Civil War era, I believe, when they had some beams going across there. They used this for munition storage, right?
Right. It was sort of a wood beam built lean-to that extended their storage usage out here, out of the cave. And the ends of the beams, for the roof, they drove into the face of the cliff here. And over time, it's fallen away. It's gone now. There's no remnants here, but these holes that are left.
And there are old pictures of this that can be found. I've seen them with the Union soldiers standing out here.
Yes.
But as you can see, Cornwallis Cave is rated off. So we can't go in there by any means. I'm not sure what's around that corner there, but straight back is a dead end. And there's a little interesting tidbit that I found out about this place that was kind of a legend way back in the early 1900s, and some of this information we'll be putting in the book too. So you definitely want to check that out if you get a chance. All right, so it's the day after last night, and we're down here at the Yorktown Victory Center, and this is a fairly new building that they built, a museum, and we don't have a whole lot of time today, but we wanted to stop in here and just kind of gauge it, see how much time we're going to need to schedule down here to come down here and do some research and see a little bit about what it's about. So we're going to go in here and take a look around. Huge.
Looks like they have a very nice gift shop, probably pretty well outfitted. They have a little entrance area where it looks like you can go into the museum. And over here is a cafe.
Oh yeah, and I saw the little like patio out in front of it where you can eat.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Still have some mugs and these old lanterns.
Oh, like old jailer's keys. I
Nice.
like that. They'll look really good in the living room. She didn't hear the big one.
Yeah, that's cool. And here we have it, Ghosts and Guides. All kinds of ghost books.
Not too bad for a t-shirt in a place like this.
Oh, not too bad at all.
I really like that.
You can also get VAPI shirts for $15. The Virginia Paranormal
Shop.
Investigations. I like this one too. The Declaration of Independence on the back.
Yeah,
The eagle.
it's really nice.
That just says America right there. Yes, this is a dream box. And legend has it that if you write your dreams on a piece of paper and place this beside your bed and hold it every night before you go to bed and think about your dreams, for 7 days, your dreams will come true.
Oh, witchcraft.
Sounds like it. Okay, so this statue is actually of the Greek goddess Nike. And this is a 20th century reproduction or copy that was presented to the Yorktown Jamestown Foundation as a symbol of the great military victory in 1781.
Oh. So the new Victory Center is pretty impressive. It's not only huge and expansive, they have inside, they have the outside section where you can go and have different demonstrations, and you can do hands-on things like helping to grind corn and wheat and things like that. And it looks like it's one of those things where you'd want to come and spend an entire day looking around, taking your time, taking in everything, maybe even eat in the cafe for lunch. So we're going to make it a point to definitely come back here sometime and spend the day just looking around and enjoying the place.
All right, so we just left the gift shop, and it's a very impressive gift shop. They got a lot of cool things in there. I purchased this Yorktown hat, and I think what I'm going to do is leave the tag on it, because sometimes I like to be gangster, and to my understanding, that's what you do to be gangster, is leave the tag on the hat. So I'm going to do that. Linda also got something interesting in there, which I think she's going to whip out in the truck and maybe display it for the camera. But this is definitely a cool place. There's a neat little timeline. I don't know if Linda mentioned it earlier, but there's a little timeline of pictures you can walk down, and you can see the Revolutionary War in progression, I guess from start to finish. And like she said, there's all that stuff out back, along with artillery demonstrations. Definitely a cool place, definitely worth checking out if you're down here in the area. Now, I did have a chance to use the bathrooms while I was here, and I have to say, these bathrooms are amazing. Like, I didn't want to leave. The lighting in there, just the silence. It's like using the restroom in a library, but not the actual restroom in the library. It's more like going in the middle of the library. You know what I mean? The only thing I didn't like about it is the door handle had a pull. It wasn't a push-out door. So after cleaning my hands, I had to touch that, and there were no paper towels to embrace this handle with as I opened the door upon exiting the bathroom. But they did have some little history pictures in there and such about Boston, and some pretty cool stuff. So what did you get at the gift shop?
Well, we got quite a few different items. This poster we're really excited about. It's called the Revolutionary War Battlefields from 1775 to 1781. And it basically just has an old map with kind of on parchment paper looking stuff. And it has all of the battlefields plotted out on this map. So we're real excited about that, because not only is it cool looking, but it's also something that can help in our research and investigations in the future.
Awesome.
Now, another thing that I got that I think I will open up here. I don't know if I can take it really out of the bubble wrap, but you can see this is a Revolutionary era tomahawk. It's not sharp necessarily on the front blade here, but it does have these points on it that are very sharp. So we'll just leave that in the bubble wrap for now, but that's definitely going on display in the living room. So I'm kind of excited about that.
That's awesome.
We also have a couple of patches because I collect patches. I like to put them on a specific jacket I have. The Betsy Ross flag patch. These are iron-on patches, so that's even more cool. And
because you don't have to sew it. So
yeah. And I also have a Victory at Yorktown 1781 patch, which is going to look really cool as well on the same jacket.
Awesome.
And then we also got a couple of little small things. We have a little miniature porcelain bell, a white porcelain bell, and it has blueprint on the outside of it that says Yorktown. We've got something else here, and I believe this is a snow globe. It's a plastic snow globe right in here, but it has Yorktown on it, so we're excited about that. I think it has an image of George Washington on his horse inside.
And it's on clearance with an additional 75% off. So we got that thing for like $2.
Right. And the hat is as well. The one that Jeff was wearing was also on sale, 75% off. And so we got a real good deal on a lot of these items. So we're very excited about it.
All right, you might want to get your tomahawk ready because these people are pointing over here and it looks like you're heading over. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got something for these guys.
All right, so what we're going to do now that we're leaving the Victory Center is we're going to go head down, spend a little bit more time here before we leave. We're going to see if we can talk to a local establishment or two and get some ghost stories from them, maybe get some history on the places and see if we can set up an investigation there and hopefully include these places in our book. So we wandered right across the street from the Victory Center, and there's a beautiful view over here of the York River and the Coleman Bridge and a little path that goes through the woods that we're gonna just venture a little ways down there and see what we see. Now this path that we're getting ready to walk down here supposedly leads to a redoubt that is an earthwork that was created by the British to control access to the road to Williamsburg. So, and it's a nice little path through the woods here. We're gonna go down and see what it looks like. And I guess the original path looks like it got a little bit overgrown, so probably no longer leads to the redoubt. But it does give us another view of the river and a very steep little cliff down there. Okay, over here you see the old redoubt, and you actually have to walk along the road to get to it. But it's still a nice little walk, and it's a beautiful day for it. And this road to Williamsburg, we mentioned in the book, it's seen its share of tragedy, and it does have some hauntings associated with it. All right, so what we have here is our contract from Schiffer Publishing, and this is the momentous occasion where I'm going to put pen to paper and sign this contract for the Ghosts of Yorktown. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, right here. We're in business. So now what we got to do is write the book. All right, so it's March 23rd, and we're down here back at the Yorktown Library in the genealogy and local history room. And we finally completed the first chapter. Well, actually, it's the fourth chapter, but it's the first chapter in the sense that it's the first one that we've completed in the format that I want to put the chapters in. We went back, we did a little more in-depth history, and we came up with some of the reports that we've gotten in the past and some of the paranormal things that have been seen along Great Valley Road. And this chapter is complete. We got the word count, and between the last time we did any video and now we sat down on this chapter a couple of times at Starbucks in Williamsburg, at Starbucks in Newport News, and there was a struggle. There was a struggle at first because with this chapter it's so much pulling from various different things. We're talking about Yorktown, its founding as a port town. We're talking about the tobacco. We're talking about the slave trade, and we're combining that all together into a chronological history that goes into Great Valley Road down there in Yorktown. So I think we're going to wrap it up for now, but we'll probably be back at Starbucks tonight, and I think we're going to go down to Yorktown again tonight and see if we can catch any kinds of ghosts, maybe in the windows of the Archer house or something like that. You know, we haven't yet, but we'll keep taking pictures and see what we can find. So we're down here in Yorktown again tonight, and tonight our area of interest that we're going to focus on is the Archer house, which is behind me here. And I'm not sure if we mentioned it earlier that this is the house where people see a face in one of the windows. So we've been taking several pictures of it. We've been doing sort of a stakeout. We've been hanging around here for a good bit of time, taking pictures from different angles, from different sides, with different lighting, with flashes, with different camera settings. And we're seeing if we can possibly catch that face in the window, because it would be awesome if we could. But so far, at first glance, we don't have anything, but we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna hang out a little longer, like I said, kind of stake it out. And what's just good about it is it's right at the mouth of Valley Road, and it's right next to Cornwallis Cave. So right here, just around this one little cottage, are like 3 hot spots that we can kind of observe just from being anywhere in this area. Like I said, Cornwallis Cave is just the other side of the house, and Valley Road is literally right on the other side of the fence over there. So, like I said, a lot of cool things right here in this little area. One thing that's pretty cool about tonight is that it's a full moon. So we had the opportunity to walk around here, walk up on Main Street. We went by the Nelson House, we went by the Swan Tavern, we went by the Victory Monument. We heard some kind of weird noise in the wood over by the bridge that crosses over Tobacco Road. And we got to pretty much do the ghost walk tonight. And it was really cool. Like I said, with the full moon and everything, it was very scenic. We got some really cool pictures. And I'm really excited about going back and looking at some of these pictures and seeing, you know, not only how well they came out with the moon and such, but if we picked up anything paranormal, that'll be really cool. So, beautiful night down here in Yorktown tonight. Nice weather. You know, just the way the lights from the Coleman Bridge are reflecting off the water, and we got the moon over here, right beyond the little pier that goes out there.
Yeah.
And really nice night. Okay, so we wandered out of the downtown historic Yorktown, and on the way out, every once in a while, we like to check out our favorite urban legend in the area, which is Crawford Road. And this is going to be the first chapter of the book, and I believe it's an awesome story. There's so many reports of activity up along this road and surrounding this one bridge that you gotta read about it. But we're gonna drive down there and see if anything happens tonight. We've had a couple experiences here before, and several other people that we've talked to have had experiences here. So let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's a very dark, creepy road, just as we described. Winds on into the darkness. The trees make a canopy almost over top of it, and very shortly we'll be coming up on the overpass that's supposed to be haunted. I gotta say, it's an eerie sight as it kind of appears over the hill as you're coming up on it. I'm not sure if you can see it too good in the video here, but this is the overpass. A lot of graffiti on the walls, and it became far less creepy since they paved the road. It used to be all old and torn up, but you can see now it's paved, and even since it's been paved within the past 2 years, the road once again is covered in graffiti under the bridge. All right, so unfortunately we were not able to tour the Moore House today. It's not open. It's a shame because it's a nice day for it. take a look around the outside and everything, but perhaps we'll try back tomorrow. What we're gonna do now is just take a little walk down this path behind us here, and down this path is where that bridge is that crosses over Tobacco Road, which we were on last week when we heard Bigfoot out in the woods. So we're gonna go down there and just get some daytime pictures of it so we can see what it looks like during the day. I think it's gonna be pretty scenic. And it's a nice little trail that goes down here. As you can see, the trail winds down into the woods, and off to the right we got some of the battlefields with the cannon overlooking the York River. And it's a really beautiful place to come and take a tour. If you ever get a chance, I'd highly recommend it. All the history here, and it's just a beautiful walk too, even if you don't like the history as much. But as you can see, towering above the trees there is the Victory Monument. It's quite a magnificent sight during the day as well as during the night. And we have a chapter about that in the book also, where people have had some strange experiences around that little plot of land. All right, and here's that little bridge that, well, it's not so little, that crosses over Tobacco Road. And we're gonna go up on top of it here and take a look down Tobacco Road and see what kind of view we get. Now you can't really see how high up this bridge is, probably from the video here, but it's up there. And over here is the bamboo forest, the dense bamboo forest, where the other night we were standing in approximately the same spot, and we heard some strange noises coming from those woods. Bigfoot? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the view down Tobacco Road to the waterfront. As you can see, we got a maybe a Navy vessel, is that what that is?
I believe they're subtenders, yes.
Passing by in the York River there. And it's quite a sight for a day like today. And I'd also recommend, we'll do it in the future, maybe not today, but walking along Tobacco Road. That little dirt path there, it leads up to the parking lot of the visitor center via another route as opposed to this bridge. And it's a nice little walk through the woods. What's this sign say? Mowing ahead? They should be mowing the lawn. And what we're gonna do is wander over here to the Yorktown pub. We're gonna grab some lunch, and we're gonna inquire about any related hauntings that might occur along the waterfront here or in the pub itself that maybe some of the workers there have experienced, and hopefully they can give us some good info. Find out. Bless you.
Thank you.
Not sure what those old buildings used to be up there. It looks like they might have been a motel at one point or something like that, huh?
I heard that at one time, all of these little rooms up here were used as sort of brothel rooms, where the women would come from the bar and would take the men up into these rooms and, you know, have their private time with them. And I have heard that they're haunted, although I haven't heard any specific stories about those little rooms.
Huh. Well, that'll be interesting to inquire about. Yeah, so we got quite an extensive menu here with some awesome looking stuff on there. What'd you find?
Well, of course, they have a lot of seafood selections. They're Cape May sea scallops that can either be black and fried or broiled. Crab cakes, shrimp, that sort of thing. But then they also have a good selection of burgers and sandwiches, deli sandwiches for people that don't necessarily like the seafood. And it looks like most everything is served with potato salad, coleslaw, one of the veggies of the day, that sort of thing. So they have a good variety. Very good.
And this is quite a nice view you get here from this window side table in the Yorktown pub. You can sit here and look out over the beach, over the York River. So I gotta say, this barbecue sandwich looks pretty amazing. Bun slightly toasted, and after piling all that barbecue on there, we still got a bunch left. What do you think about it?
It's really good. I was very pleased. They also have malt vinegar that you can put on your fries and your food, which is very, very good. I've eaten about half of my barbecue sandwich, and it is exceptional. Just enough of the vinegar flavor, the North Carolina, sauce that they put it in, and like Jeff said, it's they give you plenty, so you have a little bit left over after it's all said and done.
Awesome. That is a neat old lantern, isn't it? Pretty good food, huh?
Yes, very good food. Good food, good service. It was packed. It's 1:15, so it's a little bit past lunchtime, but it was still just packed and people steady flowing in. And that tends to be the way it stays because of their good food and good service. So I definitely recommend coming down here, maybe trying some of the seafood or even the barbecue that we tried. It's well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah, I gotta say that barbecue was slightly amazing. It was really good. It was good alone. It was good on the bun. It was good mixed with a little bit of barbecue sauce. I think it was Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Yes.
That we had to mix it with. Really good flavor to it. Like I said, even without the barbecue sauce, it had a very good natural flavor.
Right.
And the water was good too. It has a good lemon that went in the water. It's quite breezy down here on the waterfront.
Yes, it is. Which is somewhat typical for a spring day.
Right. And we were just talking about how up here at Gloucester Point, we saw where that bridge crosses over to. We saw a little sign that talked about the British Army, how they tried to flee across Gloucester Point. All right, so we're driving back from Yorktown, and before we left, we had the opportunity to stop into the Duke of York Hotel down there on the waterfront, and we hit the jackpot because we heard stories of voices that were heard down the hallway, conversations. We heard stories of ghost ships out on the York River, and we got a lot more content to put in the book. And we're going to go back there tonight and talk to the gentleman that works the night shift because he has some stories, and we'd love to find out what goes on in this hotel at night. We are driving home from Hickory Run State Park. Just took an awesome vacation. We went up to Gettysburg for a couple days. Then we went down to Philly and did a paranormal investigation of Fort Mifflin, which you'll be able to see on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Virginia Paranormal. And here we find ourselves 2 days from the deadline for the book. So doing a little bit of writing on the northeast extension of the PA Turnpike on the way home. And we're going to go into Yorktown National Cemetery right now, and then we'll probably do a little bit more writing over the course of the next 2 days on the road back to Virginia, and wrap up this video, wrap up the book, and be looking forward to that coming out hopefully in the spring. So here we are, X amount of years later. I think it's maybe a year and a half since the book was finished, and we submitted the book, and we've been going through a little bit of a process since then with getting it edited, doing some corrections and sending them back in, sending some additional pictures and stuff. So now what we have is we have a proof of the book that, as you can see it in the background here, there it is. We have a proof of the book that we have to look over and check out the design, check out all the pictures, and make sure they're good. And this, I think, could be the final step before it's actually sent to print.
Hopefully.
I believe it is. So we're almost there, and next thing you know, we should be having a hard copy of the book.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
but we just looked over this design, and it looks pretty good.
It does.
All the pictures are in there. It's amazing to see how the pictures went from, some of them that Linda was drawing to being here, and then how they're going to look in the book.
Yeah, or
So-
photographs that we took around Yorktown.
Right, right. All those trips out there, going through Yorktown, down Crawford Road. I think
Yeah.
this picture that's in that book is actually of the time when I was leaning out the window to take the picture and something came creeping up on us.
Probably is.
And we've told that story quite a few times. So, yeah, that's in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll check in at the next update, but I think the next thing will actually be to have the book in hand.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're excited.
So FedEx just came, and I didn't order anything, so I was kind of surprised. And I see this box that says Schiffer Publishing on the side. So I'm interested to tear this thing open and see if this is what I think it is. Maybe I should use something to open it with, like a scissors or something. Wow.
Oh, what could it be?
I don't know.
What is it?
Yellow paper. Whatever. It's really packed in here. What in the world?
What is that? Is that a bottle of wine?
I think it is. It's a bottle of wine.
Why would they send you a bottle of wine?
I don't know. Stargazers Solar Celebration Chardonnay.
Huh.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that kind of weird for your publishing company to send you a bottle of wine?
There's something else.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that's what we're looking for.
I don't know.
Forget the wine.
What could this be? A catalog? A Schiffer Publishing catalog, perhaps? Or is it
Oh,
the
look at
Ghosts
that.
of Yorktown?
That's pretty.
Wow, there we
Oh,
have it. There's the
nice.
back with the illustration from Linda right there.
Oh, sweet.
Oh man, look at that.
Wow.
And
That's
just kind of
awesome.
leaf through it here, and some nice illustrations and some of the old pictures that
Yeah.
we took here on our ventures.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and there's the ghost ship.
Yeah.
So good stuff. So
Great.
finally, the book is here.
Yes.
And it's due to be on the shelves in 2 months.
Wow.
So now I can finally edit this video that we started working on like 2 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. Now I guess comes the fun part where we get to put these out at our conventions and
Yeah.
our tables and stuff like that. Maybe do some
right.
book signings.
Cool.
Cool stuff.